Good morning, everyone. Hello, I am again here live with you all. And as I told you, I haven't promised any time with you all, and this is the time when I would like to share the second sutra with you all. Again, the first 9 sutras are of breathing. I am reminding you, I am reading the Book of Secrets, and it's Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. Okay. This is my third live session, and I am taking the second sutra today. All the first 9 sutras are basically of breathing, and I hope if you have seen my earlier videos, you must have started the practice. So here I am, and hello everyone. Hello Unnati, Mahima, and Nivedan. So it's nice to see you all online. So let us start. The first sutra was watch the gap between two breaths, and now it is the second sutra which I am taking. It is watch the turning point between the two breaths. Now what is the meaning, the deeper meaning of this watch the turning point? Now the turning point is how we assume the breathing is like we feel the breath goes in and the breath goes out. So my friends, it is not a parallel line. The two breathings are not parallel to each other. It moves in a circle. So when the breath you inhale goes in and the breath you exhale turns up, so it makes a circle. Again, when you breathe in, the breath you take goes in and there is an exhalation, so it comes out. So there is a continuous circle of breathing in and then breathing out. Now if I say, when we breathe in and when the breath comes here and it has to turn to go upward, then again there is a turn, again there is a turn below and it goes up. So always there is a turn. So each breath is semicircle and both the breath makes a circle together. Hello everyone. I'm saying hello to all of you. So you need to understand that when the one breath is a semicircle, when it goes down, it takes a turn, and when it takes a turn, it comes up. Now what is this turning? Here and here also the breath are turning. It is like, I know many of you must be knowing to drive a car, and when you have to change gear, you go to neutral, isn't it? So when the breath has to change its gear, it goes to neutral at this point, and then the turning takes place. Again, when it comes up, it goes to a neutral and then it changes its gear. And friends, when you change gear in your car, something changes. What is it which changes? Maybe the speed increases, maybe the speed you need to decrease, but you always have to go to neutral to change your gear. That is the simple and the minute observation of breath. Between both the breaths, we are changing our gears. And when your mechanism, your body's mechanism is neutral, something happens. Something happens here. What is it I am talking about? So the second sutra says that you need to keep your observation on these points, on this changing of the gear points. Now what happens when we reach to this neutral points? At this neutral points, the mind stops. The mind is connected when you're breathing, when your breath is on or when you're breathing out. So there is a direct connection of your mind with your breath. So when there is a pause in between, when there is a, again I'm saying that neutral pause in between, when it changes, there is the connection between your mind and your body breaks up. At that moment, the mind stops. Even you can try just now, stop your breath and you will see that your mind stops. And this stopping of mind takes you to the inner alchemy. The method, the technique is very simple. Again, I repeat, it is very simple, but it needs a lot of awareness to perform it. Okay, so this is what I have explained in my words. Let me read it from the book. Shiva says, as breath turns from down to up, and again as breath curves from up to down, through both these turns, realize. So, when you are breathing, you have to realize at the turns, when the breath turns. Shiva says, again I'll repeat, as breath turns from down to up, and again as breath curves from up to down, through both these turns, realize. Very simple. He says, realize the turns and you will realize the self. So this simple minute thing can lead to realization. People are doing, I don't know what sort of techniques they are doing out there just to attain realization. And Shiva says that only if you are observing the turn, you can realize. So isn't it all? I have lost something. Yeah, my pencil. I got it, friends. I'll read more for you from here. In Japan, yeah, they have a particular type of meditation which they say or they call as zazen. Okay, so the word zazen in Japanese means just sitting down and doing nothing. No movement is allowed. One is just sitting like a statue, dead and moving not at all. But there is no need to sit like a statue for years, you know. If you can breath without any movement of the mind, you will enter. You will enter into yourself or into the beyond within. And my friends, these turns are very important. And why are these turnings so important? They are important because on turning, the breath leaves you to move in a different direction. It was with you when it was coming in. It will be with you again when it goes out. But at the turning point, it is not with you and you are not with it. In that moment, the breath is different from you and you are different from it. If breathing is life, then you are dead at that moment. If breathing is your body, then you are no body. If breathing is your mind, then you are no mind in that moment. So, one more thing which in our gaining of technology and relating to outer life we have missed, and that the thing which we have missed is these sutras telling us that talent we have missed, that I should say skill we have missed as human, and that skill is observation. We don't observe, you know? We have stopped observing. Observation means remaining with no word. When no verbalization, no bubbling inside, just remaining with you. So let me give you an example. If I say that look at the flower and observe the flower, and if something or the other than flower is also given to you, within a second you will start giving thoughts and your expressions about how beautiful it is, and then you have moved. You are not observing it. Now flower is no more your observation. The field has changed. You say the flower is red in color, maybe it is blue in color, it is still a bird and whatever. But when you give words to your observation, you are not observing. You are moving. You have moved from the point of observation. We are not at all observers. We are not aware. We are not alert. We cannot pay attention to anything. We just go on jumping. This is a part of our heritage. And what heritage I am talking about is the monkey heritage. Our mind is just the growth of the monkey mind. So the monkey moves on. He goes on jumping from this branch to that branch and here and there. And a monkey cannot sit still. And that is why Buddha also insisted so much on just sitting without any movement. But it is so difficult. And again I say, why it is difficult? Because we are blessed with this monkey mind. And until you take the control, your whole control over this monkey mind, you will not be able to progress or observe. So there is one more example here. Spiritual techniques are more subtle. They are not gross. They cannot be, because it is like if you have seen a brain surgeon, he is going to have small instruments, and if you go to a butcher, he is going to have a big instrument. So brain surgery requires small instruments and a butcher requires bigger instrument. So when you are following a spiritual technique, you require minute micro observation, minute things to do it. And the more Tantra only talks about minute changes, is only concerned about the atomic secrets of human body. And let me tell you more about human body. I hope you all are aware of it. So I had this beautiful example. There are 2 paragraphs and I am going to read it for you. Man is a machine, a very large, very complicated machine. You have many gears in your body, many gears in your mind. You are not aware of your great mechanism. But you are a great mechanism, and it is good that you are not aware. Now otherwise you could have gone mad. The body is such a great machine that scientists say if you have to create a factory parallel to the human body, it would require 4 square miles of land, and the noise would be such that 100 square miles of land would be disturbed by it. The body is a great mechanical device, the greatest. You have millions and millions of cells and each cell is alive. So you are a big city of roughly 60 trillion cells that are roughly 60 trillion citizens inside you. And the whole city is running very silently, smoothly. Every moment the mechanism is working. It is very complicated. But always the emphasis will be on those points where suddenly you are not the part of the mechanism. Remember this. Suddenly you are not the part of mechanism. These are the moments when you change your gears. Again, when do you change your gear? When you breathe in and breathe out. Also, when you go to sleep. Hello Tushar sir. So, when you go to sleep, again you change your gear. And when again you get up in the morning, the gear of your body changes. And these are also 2 points to be observed. And I know there is a sutra which is going to come further, and it tells you more about being aware when you enter in deep sleep, or maybe improve your awareness when you get up. So maybe we'll further see which sutra it is, but this was the second sutra which we have covered today. And there are few more things which I really loved in it. Himalayas are bigger because they have such a big body. Himalayas are just impotent before an atomic explosion. Even a smaller unit, the more intensely it is filled with power, it can blow Himalayas. So, again, I insist these small techniques work like atomic bombs. Those who are doing bigger things do not know atomic science. You will think that a person who is working with atoms is a small person, working with small things. And a person who is working with the Himalayas will look very big. Hitler was working with great masses, isn't it? So we thought that Hitler is something big, and Mayo is working with great masses, and Einstein and Planck, they were working in laboratories with small units and small matters, energy particles, but they were working with bigger canvas. They did not know the secrets of small units. So why to elaborate or why to stretch this? I just wanted to convince you all that you need to start working. Hello Smita ma'am. You need to start working with the smallest part, the smallest observations. And before going offline, I'm going to repeat it for you all. So when you breathe in, here the gear changes. Before coming out, you exhale, again the gear changes, you breathe in. So what you have to observe, these 2 points, when your breath moves. So you need to be observant on the turnings. Okay, so this is one turning, you have to observe, again you have to turn and observe. So give time today in observing these turns, and again I'll bring you the 3rd sutra tomorrow. As always, if you would like to read this book, the book which I am reading with you all is the Book of Secrets. Trust me friends, this is not a book, this is a living book, and if you would like to read it, please ping me on my WhatsApp number or leave your number here, and I'll WhatsApp you a PDF of this book, so that when I am reading, you can also go through your personal sadhanas. So see you tomorrow again. Take care then. Bye. Thank you friends for hearing me.